Suppose a biologist from another star examined a human for the first time. It would find a primate that gets burned by its own sun, complains about its spine, struggles to give birth, reacts to harmless pollen, and sometimes lies awake at 3 in the morning, staring at the ceiling. The obvious diagnosis might be simple. Somebody delivered the wrong animal to the wrong planet. That is the bait behind a surprisingly persistent idea. The claim says, humans did not evolve here. We were planted here, exiled here, or descended from travelers whose home world had dimmer sunlight, weaker gravity, and a longer day. The argument sounds clever because every complaint begins with something real. Human bodies are awkward. But awkward is not the same as alien. In fact, awkwardness is exactly what evolution predicts. Evolution is not an engineer beginning with a clean blueprint. It is a mechanic modifying the machine while it is still running. Every feature is built from older parts, and every advantage comes with a bill. A crocodile looks perfect in a river and useless at a keyboard. A human looks fragile in a snowstorm and capable once it has fire, clothing, maps, and friends. Earth contains billions of local jobs, and each species only has to be good enough at one of them to leave descendants. Start with sunburn. Humanity did not evolve with one universal skin tone under one level of ultraviolet radiation. Pigmentation changed as populations lived under different amounts of ultraviolet light. More eumelanin offers greater protection, where ultraviolet exposure is intense. In places with weaker exposure, lighter pigmentation can help the skin produce enough vitamin D. Migration and modern travel then moved people between environments much faster than genes could follow. A person can be poorly matched to one location without being poorly matched to an entire planet. Sunburn reflects local adaptation and rapid movement, not an alien passport stamp. Then there is the human back, a structure that feels as if it was assembled on a Friday afternoon. Our ancestors did not order a fresh, upright model. Natural selection gradually remodeled an inherited primate skeleton. Curves in the spine balance the torso, while changes in the pelvis, knees, legs, and feet make walking on 2 legs efficient. Upright movement freed the hands and supported impressive endurance, but it also concentrated stress in ways that can produce pain. Fossils preserve stages of this transformation across millions of years. Back pain is not proof of the wrong gravity. It is the repair invoice for bipedalism. Childbirth looks like an even bigger design failure. Human babies have large heads. Mothers walk on a pelvis adapted for upright movement, and pregnancy demands enormous energy. The result is a tight set of biological compromises. Babies arrive unusually dependent, and birth can be dangerous. Human groups compensate with shared food, knowledge, care, and assistance during delivery. Intelligence did not evolve separately from the body. It changed the costs of reproduction and made cooperation more valuable. That is messy, sometimes brutally so, but it remains a recognizable evolutionary trade-off, not evidence that human infants were designed for another world. Allergies also appear on the alien checklist. But the planet is not attacking us. An allergy is our own defensive system responding to the wrong target. Immune systems evolved under pressure from parasites, microbes, injuries, and toxins. In that setting, a false alarm could cost less than ignoring a real threat. Modern homes, diets, pollutants, medicines, and microbial exposure differ from many ancestral conditions. Allergy has complex causes, and other animals can develop it too. Earth is not rejecting us. Sometimes our immune system is simply an overenthusiastic security guard. The sleep argument may be the most tempting. An old claim says our natural day is closer to 25 hours, perhaps inherited from a planet that turns more slowly. Careful laboratory measurements tell a quieter story. Without ordinary time cues, the average intrinsic human circadian period is about 24 hours and 11 minutes. It is adjusted each day, mainly by light. A clock that needs calibration is not broken, and 11 extra minutes do not reveal a hidden home world. They reveal a biological oscillator living under a 24-hour sky. Those 5 clues feel persuasive only when examined one at a time. Pull back, and the strongest evidence is not our discomfort. It is our family history. Human DNA sits inside the same branching pattern as other Earth life. Our closest living relatives are chimpanzees and bonobos, and our genomes carry similarities inherited from common ancestors. Shared genes, mutations, and insertions left by ancient mobile DNA. Human chromosome 2 even carries the scar of an ancestral fusion. Other great apes have 2 separate chromosomes where we have 1. In us, the fusion sequence remains in the middle, along with evidence of an old, inactive centromere. That is an oddly specific detail for aliens to counterfeit, and exactly the historical accident evolution predicts. The bones tell the same story. Long before Homo sapiens, other hominins were walking upright, changing their diets, expanding their brains, and using tools. The trail is not a ladder but a branching bush filled with extinct relatives and mixtures of old and new features. African fossils place early members of our species, roughly 300,000 years ago, connected to deeper hominin history rather than arriving without ancestors. There is no biological landing site, and no point where an extraterrestrial genome interrupts the record. But this does not make the cosmic part of the story boring. Space really does deliver ingredients. Carbon-rich meteorites contain dozens of amino acids, including compounds used by life. Samples from the asteroid Bennu also contain amino acids and building blocks used in genetic molecules. The rocks were not alive. They show that prebiotic chemistry is not exclusive to Earth. Some raw materials for life form in asteroids, ice, dust, and young planetary systems. That opens the door to panspermia, life traveling between worlds inside rock. Impacts can blast stones from Mars and eventually drop them on Earth. A deeply shielded microbe might survive such a journey under the right conditions, although ejection, radiation, time, and re-entry create a vicious obstacle course. Transfer is physically conceivable. Evidence that it started life on Earth has not been found. And even if early microbes did arrive from elsewhere, humans would not be special alien passengers. Every known branch of Earth life would share that ancient immigrant history. Panspermia also moves the mystery rather than solving it. It may explain how life reached a planet, but not how non-living chemistry first became life. In 1973, Francis Crick and Leslie Orgel considered directed panspermia, an advanced civilization deliberately sending microorganisms to seed another world. It was speculation, not discovery, and they acknowledged that evidence was inadequate. The idea still creates a testable question. Did someone leave a signature? So far, no artificial message in our genome, impossible ancient machine, or break in our ancestry has survived scrutiny. To overturn humanity's Earth origin, sorebacks and sunburn would never be enough. We need evidence that explains the genetic and fossil record better than evolution, an unmistakably non-human artifact older than our species, or life from another world, sharing rare biological machinery in a pattern that reveals transfer. That evidence would be the missing bridge between an entertaining possibility and a scientific explanation. So, are we the aliens? Biologically, the evidence says no. We are not visitors badly designed for Earth. We are Earth life shaped by compromises, clever enough to notice every flaw and inventive enough to build shelters around them. But one day, descendants of Earth may step onto another world, carry microbes with them, and begin the same story in reverse. After enough generations, those settlers might stare at their new sun, complain about their bodies, and wonder why they never quite fit. To that planet, they really would be aliens. The strangest truth is not that humanity came from the stars. It is that one small branch of life on Earth learned how to imagine going back to them.